Hey friends, so in this lab we're going to work with a potentiometer. This is called a potentiometer. It's just a variable resistor that varies from 0 to 50 kilo ohms or 50,000 ohms. This is what it looks like in real life, and then this is what it looks like in Tinkercad. And it's just, in Tinkercad, it's just a knob or a dial that you can turn. So if I click on it, I can turn this knob or dial. What this does is our code, it's actually reading the value on the middle pin of the potentiometer. It's reading it using pin A0, which is an analog port. It's reading that and it's calling that sensor val. And then what we're actually doing is we're going to print that sensor val or sensor value onto what's called the serial monitor. So if I toggle on the serial monitor down here, you can see there's a number on that. Now that number, if I change the knob on here, it changes. So it goes from 1023 down to 0, okay? And then let's see what that looks like on the real life circuit. So if I go to my potentiometer code here, the way that I open the serial monitor in the Arduino editor is I go up to the top right here and I click serial monitor, and then it opens the monitor here. Okay, now that's reading a sensor value from the circuit here. What's happening when I turn this knob, if I turn it all the way to the bottom, all the way down, right? What's happening is the potentiometer, it's connecting with a part of a resistor inside. And if you slide it all the way down to the bottom, it's actually going to be at the very bottom of that resistor, and it's going to read 0 volts, all right, which is what's connected to the bottom pin. So the bottom pin here is connected, the bottom pin here with the black, it's connected to 0 volts, to our ground, okay? And then the top pin is connected to 5 volts, our power supply, all right? So if I turn it all the way to the bottom, I'm going to get 0 volts, which is going to give me a reading. The minimum reading on that analog input is 0. If I look at my serial monitor, it's 0. Okay. Now, if I turn it the other way, so if I turn it all the way up to the top, start turning it to the top, look what happens to that number. It's going up and up and up. Okay, all the way to a maximum of 1023. Okay, so when that knob is all the way at the top, I'm connecting to the top of the resistor, which is going to give me the power supply voltage, which is 5 volts. So 5 volts is going into pin A0 over here. And so then the Arduino is saying, okay, I've got 5 volts. That's going to give me my maximum number, which is 1023. All right. Okay, so get that working on yours, folks. Make sure you can see that number changing from 0 to 1023 in the real life serial monitor. Okay, and then next we're going to add an LED for a little extension. Okay, so in this extension, we're adding an LED to the circuit. We're adding an LED on pin 13. And then in our code, what we're doing is if a sensor value is greater than or equal to 600, we're going to turn on the LED. Otherwise, we'll turn it off. So right now, my sensor value is 300 and something. So it's not high enough. So now what happens if I turn my dial, turn it up? There we go. So turn it up above 600, the light turns on. Okay, let's take a look at that in real life. So we'll switch over to our Arduino editor. Okay, we've pasted the code in here already and deployed it. We've uploaded it to the Arduino. Now let's open up the serial monitor in the top right here, and we'll check out our number. Here we go. Okay, so right now our number is 400 and something. So my LED is off. So now if I turn my potentiometer up to a higher number, there we go, it turns on. So check out that number there. So that's 700 and something. So it's above 600, so it's turned on. So let's turn it below 600. All right, it's below 600. Let's make it above 600. And the light goes on. Okay, so get yours working in that way as well. All right, so now we've got a way of controlling. In addition to adding buttons, we can add a little knob, a potentiometer, and we can use that to control our circuits. All right, good luck, friends.